and welcome back. Today I am at the park here. Very peaceful day, and I wanted to just get a couple videos here for you guys. As you can see the title, it says China is not what you'd expect. And very a lot of people, especially in the western part of the country, they have this mindset of stuff. So I want to show you guys here and talk about a couple things about why you should visit China and why it's actually so incredible there. Like I've been several times, and this last time going into Shanghai and Beijing was amazing. If you're brand new to the channel, consider subscribing, and if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, guys. Okay, first thing I want to address is this: cameras. Now, I've had several people ask me like, hey, there's cameras everywhere, what do you do? And you know what? I've never felt more safe. And I have a couple talking points here that I'm actually going to address about cameras and why they're so important. But the biggest thing I noticed is there is this just safety that I feel. There was, and I'll use an example for women. You know, women, sometimes they like to dress up going to the clubs, or they just want to dress up really cute. And there's a lot of things that they have to deal with in certain parts of the world where you might get jumped, mugged, or worse. I went to a couple of restaurants, I was exploring a couple areas, U Garden and everything in the middle of the night, the French concession, and I didn't feel like nervous for anybody's safety. Of course, there's so much more to explore, and every place has its own ups and downs, but the safety on these cameras, I felt fine. Point number 2, retirement age. The standard retirement age in China is 60 for men, 55 for female employees in most industries and organizations. However, this does vary by profession, so it really depends. The retirement for working women in factories, I believe it's 50, and then men is like 55. So it's very interesting how they do take care of their people there. I know as time goes on, things get different, things change, but from what I saw going to the parks, there's a lot of people within their 50s enjoying their weekdays or weekends, and I thought it was great. I landed on a weekend, and you can see these clips right here. Everybody looked like they were just having a good time, just exercising, dancing, practicing, I think it was like Tai Chi. But it was just incredible just to see that. Now, number 3, this is actually very interesting. Speeding, moving violations. In the States, and I know a few people, that they drive like their life depended on it. The few people that I know that drive in like if they don't care if they live or die, they literally would get up to the last minute, get ready last minute, leave the house already knowing they're going to be late, and then they speed like they don't care. Over there, they just don't. There's no zero tolerance is the easiest way I could say it. Zero tolerance. I think it's great. What happens is if you're caught speeding, again going through the cameras automatically give you points. Once you get to a certain amount of points, it's kind of like the States. Once you get like 6-7 points, then you get like suspended. You know, it just depends. For them, once you get a certain amount of points, you get suspended for, I think it's like a year, depending on the violation. If you're speeding, I was talking to somebody, and they said that if you're caught speeding well over the speed limit to where it becomes an endangerment where you could possibly, you know, seriously hurt somebody or end of life somebody, we're talking about them taking away your license completely, possibly jail time, like too. And the way I know some people here, I'm just like, you would have been thrown in jail a long time ago the way you're using that vehicle. So yeah, pretty interesting. Everybody follows the rules. When I was in Shanghai, there's like no honking allowed. In Beijing, there was some honking, but not that much. But it just varies like what cities you're in. Some cities they allow honking, some cities they don't allow honking. But it's just very strict, and the way people drive is just very like courteous. Okay, number 4, which I thought was cool. Opportunities for free doctor visits. Now, some people are gonna say like, wait, they get free healthcare? Usually once a month for seniors. They will meet at like certain areas where when I went to the park, they had booths set up and tents, and people were there just trying to talk to a doctor just to get situated and stuff, to get medicines or whatever. I thought that was actually pretty cool. It was awesome to see. Also, I ended up getting a touch of the cold. Allergies were kicking in. First it was allergies, then it was a little bit of the cold, but then it went right back to allergies. Medicine was extremely cheap, and it helped me big time. It didn't get it like if it was a cold, it wasn't that bad. But as far as the allergies, it did kick my butt, but that stuff helped contain it so nice. So that's pretty good. Number 5, food. Healthier. Much healthier. I tried some of their soup dumplings, their hot pot, Peking duck. The tea is just amazing. I gotta tell you, it's like even McDonald's. Like McDonald's, I didn't feel like I was having too much salt or processed or whatever it was. It was just really good, and it just tasted so much healthier, which was weird. I'm just like, wow, this is weird. It tastes healthier. So just interesting how that happened, and I thought it was pretty cool. So I was eating a lot, and I actually lost weight even though I ate a lot. So it was pretty interesting. Number 6, advances in technology. When I got picked up and I was going through everything, like everything was like almost cashless. You use your phone and you can tap things, and it's very like, you know, I know in the States they're moving towards that, where you're using the NFC and you're trying not to like use cash as much. You know, we got cards and stuff like that. They have things that just scan either your phone, your license plate, like whatever it is, and you know, you could pretty much walk in somewhere, grab stuff, scan your thing or do Alipay or whatever, and then just walk out quick. Of course, they have their own social media. They got WeChat Pay. They got their bullet trains, or they call them G trains. But they have a lot of advances. I did download WeChat before I went there, and it was a lifesaver. I would say, hey, you know, do you have WeChat? We would share information, and then I would be able to speak in English, and they'd be able to understand it, and then they would speak in Mandarin, and I'd be able to translate it and understand them. So it was actually very cool that they're able to do that. Of course, their own social media, it's all their own stuff. There's a lot of stuff that we have too that they should probably take off social media. That's a whole other conversation to have. But all their stuff was just very like, learn how to do this, learn how to do that, a lot of educational stuff. And I felt like I was learning Mandarin much faster than the first time I went there. And I was like, this is actually really, really cool. So yeah, keep that in mind. Get WeChat if you do decide to go. Number 7, advances in skyscrapers. When I went to Shanghai and I see the skyscrapers there, modern development is just insane. It feels like cyberpunk. And it's not just Shanghai. There's lots of cities that are doing this, which again, I think it's awesome. They still have a very, very deep history and a very deep connection to their culture. They have a lot of old China with all the new technology advances stuff. It's incredible. It's honestly incredible how this thing is. And I think it's almost like a breath of fresh air, thinking like, wow, like these guys are advancing and they're not leaving their traditions behind. They're not leaving some of their old stuff behind. So like when I was drinking tea, and I was just like, man, I felt like, you know, like this is some great tea. And then just experiencing China with all their old stuff, their new buildings, it was just very amazing, and almost takes your breath away. Just really, really cool. Number 8, people are extremely friendly. Now, if you haven't heard about this, yeah, you got to watch a lot of YouTube videos. People are extremely friendly. Depending on the color of your skin, or how you look, they might stare at you. And it's not because they have a crush on you, they like you, they want to hook up with you. They're just curious. They're very, very curious. People want to know, why are you here in China? Why do you want to visit us? Why are you here? What's the point? And I got asked several times, and I'm just like, I love the history, the Great Wall, and you know, the Forbidden Temple, Shanghai with all their exports, and there's more cities. Shenzhen with all the technology that's coming out of there. There's like 3 other cities I want to visit that are just amazing, but there's a lot of stuff. So me being in the United States, I like going to national parks, and I like to see like natural beauty. China has a lot of that, and I mean a lot of that. So I was very lucky that a lot of people that I ran into did speak English. And if they didn't, I was able to use that app. And for the people who couldn't speak English, I was kind of prepared already, saying I had my app going, and I'm like, or even my Google Maps, I said I need to go here. And they would be like, cool, take me right away. Here's the cash, paid them, or scan my phone, and done. I thought it was actually very nice and cool how I was able to do all that. Number 9, you need to have certain apps. Trip.com is big. I did use Expedia, Viator. For the bullet trains, I used Rail Ninja. I'm gonna leave links of all this stuff in the description below of everything that I used. WeChat's a big one. You do need Google Translator. The cool thing about Google Translator is if there's a sign that you don't know what it says, you could actually go to image and then just hold your phone. You don't have to take a picture. You could hold the phone there and then it'll read it. And that's within the Google Translator app. Now, if you talk to Google Translator in English and you could choose whatever language you translate, you could show it to them and say, this is what I'm trying to tell you. So I use that a lot for people who couldn't understand English. And it was cool because I learned a few words along the way, and yeah, you just want to be sure you get some of that stuff going. When I did go to Shanghai, I did have an issue with getting Disney tickets and also the hotel. I had to go to trip.com, and I was able to book everything through that. You are protected with cancellations and all that stuff, so just make sure you read all the policies, but everything worked great. Rail Ninja, it's a little bit trickier. When you book it, you don't get your tickets right away. You have to wait until the train, like the company over there, the train stations, release the tickets. Once they do, Rail Ninja is on it almost immediately. I had no issues whatsoever with Rail Ninja. They went in, got my tickets, plugged it in, emailed me saying, here's your stuff, here's your code. I was able to go to the booth and say, here's my code. They printed my ticket. I went right in, got into my seat, no issues whatsoever. So yeah, those are the apps to use. I'm gonna do a whole separate video of everything you need to know before you go, how to prepare yourself. So watch out for that video next. Now, number 10, and the last thing is the Great Firewall of China. Blocks Facebook, WhatsApp, Instagram, pretty much all the Google stuff. TikTok, which Douyin is the parent app of TikTok, which it's owned by the same company in China. Some cities might be blocked for foreigners if there's an event, so just check the calendars. I know there's sometimes like big events happening, so just make sure you guys do check that. But honestly, I had all my apps already pre-downloaded. I already had everything already set up, and when I went there and I was like, cool, let me check this out, let me check that out and see how this works and everything, I had no issues whatsoever, nothing. I thought it was great. I was able to use everything that I had. There is certain apps that you should get, again, like I already mentioned, WeChat, Alipay, you should use trip.com. Make sure you're just prepared before you get there, because once you get there, like if you need a VPN, for example, one in the description below that works great out there. You want to have all of that stuff before you get there. WhatsApp worked for me the entire time, but I've heard people say they've had issues with WhatsApp before. So just keep that in mind. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, just enjoying here. Really nice day at the park. I'm probably gonna come back here to do the next video right after this, with everything that you need to know before you go to China. But I gotta tell you, it's been an amazing experience. I'm coming back. I'm going back. I was invited to come back. I'm gonna be going back soon to learn Mandarin. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Have you ever been to China? What are the cities that you recommend? Made a couple friends while I'm out there, and I've been keeping in touch with them. So hopefully when I go back, we're gonna be able to record some more and explore more of that that country. Just a lot of beautiful places to see in this world, and they have a big chunk of land there to explore. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Again, I try to get you guys here all my travel stuff, all my just my recommendations, see what you think. So yeah, with all that being said, you guys take care of each other. See you guys in the next one.